Can you challenge employers using employee handbook violations? Imagine working hard every day and feeling like your rights are being overlooked. You might wonder if you can stand up and challenge your employer when they break their own rules. Well, the answer is yes, but it depends on how the employee handbook is written and what it says about your rights. Employee handbooks are like rulebooks for the workplace, but they can also be used in court if they contain promises or policies that create legal obligations. For example, if a handbook says you will only be fired after a fair process, or if it hints at job security, a court might see it as part of your employment agreement. That means your employer could be held accountable if they violate those promises. Most employee handbooks include a disclaimer that says they do not create a contract and that employment is at will, meaning either side can end the job at any time without reason. But if that disclaimer is missing or unclear, you might argue that the handbook forms part of your employment contract. Employers must also apply policies consistently. If they enforce rules differently or ignore certain policies, you could claim unfair treatment or breach of implied promises. It's important that the policies in the handbook follow current laws about discrimination, harassment, leave, and accommodations. If they do not, you might have grounds to challenge the employer for noncompliance. If your employer violates a policy in the handbook, you can file complaints internally or with government agencies like the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission or the Department of Labor. For example, if they deny you leave you were promised or skip disciplinary steps they agreed to follow, you may have a legal case for breach of contract or discrimination. To avoid issues, employers should review and update their handbooks regularly with legal help to make sure policies are clear and lawful. Employees should also read their handbooks carefully and seek advice if they notice policies that seem unfair or inconsistent with how things are actually handled at work. In the end, employee handbooks are more than just guidelines. They can be used as legal tools if they contain enforceable promises or if policies are applied unfairly. Both workers and employers benefit from clear, accurate, and lawful handbooks that define workplace rights and responsibilities. If your rights are violated according to the handbook, you do have options to challenge those violations through legal or administrative channels.